Good morning, campers. So right now we are going to count our plants. This is on the Afenbo Community Design by Southwoods and United Designers. Welcome United Designer team members for this little instructional video working in Adobe Illustrator. Just want to show you what we have going right now. This is the artwork page. Artwork file that we do all of our design work on. Right now we have in here the symbol list, all of our symbols that we use on design, polycultures at the bottom usually, and all the plants by order of number. And we're changing that, as you've seen in some previous, where we're changing the numbers back to initials for the scientific name. But in this case, with the complexity that we have, we're just going to leave these in the numbers because that is what the polycultures were originally done. So let's go with that, and the long list of polyculture plants are mixed and matched in those. So that'll be on an Excel spreadsheet we'll put on another document. So in this, basically here is the final design, final draft. Everything's always a draft because there's always going to be changes. So we have our polycultures listed on here also for people to see. Which is good to see what all these little tiny dots are all about. On here the polycultures are labeled by number. We have a close-up of the village and then the entire design down here. Some other call-outs on the left for details. Lots of information to be learned from a design other than just engineering and a bunch of lines of where the plants go, because we want to see really what the system is here and what the strategy is. What we're doing right now though is we are going to count plants. And we have this open right now, and as you can see, when we're looking at the title block, that is not where you count plants because this is a projection. This artwork was placed on here from the original artwork where we've done our work. So you can't count anything on that. But what you can do is open up in Window, you draw it down to Document Info, and then this little box opens up here, and the upper right, click on objects, and then it counts your objects for you. So if we go to avocado, pull down to select all instances, this will turn into a 3. Let me move this over so you can see it when the thing opens up, when the side box opens up. So we want to select all instances and we get a 3, and so I double click on avocado. I've already done this. Open it up for editing and use my right arrow to get to the end and type a 3. So I've done that with avocado, Gliricidia, 254 there. You have to make sure that you click off of the design so that this goes to none. Otherwise it's going to add all of your plant symbols together. Now if I do Pigeon Pea, see, we'll just do the Gliricidia here. You can see that. Show all instances, and now you can see down here they are all highlighted. So we have 254 of those. Again, added that to the name. Click off of that, shut those off, click on Pigeon Pea, and select all those, and guess what you got? Nothing. Why? Because Pigeon Pea is part of a polyculture down here. So they're not going to be counted separately if they are part of a polyculture symbol. So we're just going to leave that, and then when we find what the polycultures are that has Pigeon Pea in it, we'll count those polycultures, do the math. And then on our Excel spreadsheet we'll put those together and have our total for Pigeon Pea based on how many times it's used in the polyculture and how many polycultures we have. Lemongrass, holy basil, chives, all those things, sward bean, those are ones. Perennial peanut, those are all in polycultures that I know. We can go down here and look at banana, see if we have any individual banana plants. Select all instances. We don't. Do it for papaya, and we have 8. Papaya in here. And I think they're behind in the village here somewhere. So we have 8 papaya plants in here. So I double click on papaya, arrow to the right, space, 8, return, done. Now I know my plant count in here. The whole idea is to get your plant count on the design. If you add plants to that later, you can go change the number, but initially this is a great place to have those numbers. It would be wonderful if Illustrator would do it for you, but it doesn't. If every time you used a symbol it would pop a number in here, that would be very helpful. Sweet potato, ice cream bean, all of those, click off of the design, select all instances, none in there. Coconut, cacao, these are all part of Polycultures Hispania. Vetiver, we can look at that one. Select all instances, 54, and then you can see them down here, all lit up. That's Vetiver. Now we'll double click on that, right arrow, space 54, return. That count is in here. What we want to remember though in this design specifically, and I do this a lot, is, I'll click off of this. Let's zoom in down here. All of these rows, this is actually a line of round dashes. That is my symbol right now for Vetiver. There is so much on here, I'm not going to place each individual plant. So this little line here is actually, this is a line, and these are dashes, but the dashes are round. And you can do that in Illustrator. You can make that the ends of the lines rounded, and then you just make each dash a circle. That way it's very easy now to have just one line and have all your plants in here. The same in here with the castor bean, all separated out as a line. Then what I do is I just calculate all the total linear distance of these lines and divide it by the number of plants per centimeter in this case, and get my total for that. But anyway, that's a fast-paced place to do it. In this case, some of them aren't on lines, they're placed individually, so I have those on here too. So let's click off of that. Pomegranate, select all instances, and we have 2. Double click on pomegranate, right arrow, space, 2, return. We got our number in there. That's how I count the plants. I just go down the plant list, see how many I have, right? Now this, remember we have the number 2 in there, so we have to click off of that, so this goes back to none. We have cacao, and I see we have 2 cacaos in here, so later on I'll have to see why that is, and I'll combine those into one. So select all instances of cacao, and we have 8. So highlight that, space, 8, return. And we'll see how many of this cacao 2 we have. Oh, it says 2 in there already. Alright, so let's select all those. Oh, there it says none. Okay. Citrus Guild. Select all those instances, and there's 7. And Citrus Guild 2. We have 7 in here already. Let's count all instances, and there aren't any. So somehow that's got in here not used, so I'll just delete those if there aren't any. Mango Guilds. Remember, we want to click off of this to change that to none. All instances, and we have 26. Double click, space, 26. And that's good. Okay, so now we've got 26 Mango Guilds. Now, what I'll have to do later is I'll go into this and I'll show you this by double clicking on the symbol. I can now edit that symbol if I want to. And I have to go in now and count all of these. So how many 6s we have, how many 9s. And really right now I can go in here and click on 9 and it'll tell me that that's sword bean. I'll click on 22 and it tells me that's Hispania. I know that this is the peanuts down in here. There's 6, 9, see, and it'll just jump around. We have 40 in here. There's the tree, that's the mango, and then 40 is the Chichi spinach. So I'll do the same process in this polyculture also in here. Count my plants, how many I have in this polyculture, and then how many polycultures I have, and do the math for that in my Excel spreadsheet to do the plant count. So we'll just drop out of there. So that's how you do your plant count using the symbols. Select the symbol, go up the upper right corner and just say select all instances, and the number will show up over here in that little document information box. As long as you click on objects here, you'll get a good symbol instances count every time that symbol is used, and those are our plants. Thanks for joining me once again, United Designers and Southwoods Ecosystem Design video for today. My name is Dan Halsey. You take care.